Hi everyone, Velvet here, and I have some stories for you today. But before we get started, can you please do me a huge favor and subscribe to the channel? It'll help out a ton. Let's get started. Our first story comes from Abject Bet 9081. Am I the beehole for not using the money I earned to buy family groceries? I, a 16-year-old male, work part-time right now and have my own income. I'm also the oldest in my family. I have 4 younger siblings, 2 bio brothers who are on the spectrum, and 2 sisters who are biologically my cousins, and were adopted by my parents as babies. Both have Down syndrome. All of my younger siblings have significant challenges and health issues. Over the years, it has drained my parents' resources and left very little for anything fun. It was only when I started working 2 years ago that I could afford to treat myself occasionally. Sometimes it's my favorite gummies, sometimes I save up to buy something. I bought myself a laptop earlier this year with my money because I needed something, especially with school and everything. And using the family computer didn't work as much now because Dad works later in the days than he used to. For the last few months, I've paid for certain groceries for myself. Since there are so many different meals made in our house, I usually end up with stuff I really don't enjoy. I decided to occasionally buy myself stuff so I can make myself something I'd like, and it was one less person for my mom to prepare food for. My brothers both have safe foods, and my sisters are also bad eaters who have limitations due to their allergies, but also due to not enjoying the taste of a lot of things. I know my parents have been struggling to afford all the safe foods, allergen foods, and then stuff for themselves. A while ago, my dad asked if I could buy some family groceries for everyone, and I sat and asked him if I could just get more of what I like for everyone, and he said no. He and my mom don't like the foods I do. My siblings couldn't and wouldn't eat them. He said, just get the usual stuff and I can live off the stuff I don't love. I told him I didn't want to do that, that I was trying to enjoy food more and it was one less person for them to buy for. We compromised, and I would buy myself groceries all the time instead of sometimes. Then, a couple weeks ago, some food ran out and my dad had to use his credit card to buy a few extra groceries. I was the only person who didn't run out that week. My parents were pissed. They asked why I took care of myself so much but wouldn't help out with my family. My mom said it's exhausting having to feed so many different people with so many different needs, and I could at least buy some food for my siblings if I can't give a shite about her and Dad. They said I was being selfish, and I should be thinking of my family over just me. My parents said I would probably let everyone starve before I help out, and they accused me of resenting them for adopting my sisters and adding more additional needs kids to our family. But they said that's what a family does and I should be ashamed. They also said I should have never bought the laptop and I could have helped out more financially without it. Am I the beehole? I'm going to say you're not the beehole. It's not your obligation to raise those kids that they took in. And it does sound a little cold of me, but they should have thought about that when they bit off more than they can chew. You're what, 16? And you're already, buying your own groceries and feeding yourself, taking yourself off the board so I don't have to worry about feeding you? I think you did a pretty good job, helping them out with that. And don't feel bad about being the laptop. You need a laptop for school nowadays. I would also say this is a little bit of a use. You know what that means if you put it together. Not physically, but mentally and financially. They're trying to take advantage of you in that way. It's crazy. Yeah, when I started working, I did help my parents out with money, but they never tried to manipulate me into buying them anything or buying food like that. I just wanted to help them. But to sum it all up, you are 16. You are not legally an adult. It is your parents' job to raise you and the rest of your siblings. Our next story comes from Am I the Beehole Throwaway 303049? Am I the beehole for wearing clothes that wouldn't fit my friend? I, a 23-year-old female, have a friend, Sarah, a 24-year-old female. Recently, Sarah has gained some weight, and so bought some new clothes. I met her this week, and she was complaining about how she tried on a dress and it hadn't fit. However, she wasn't able to return it as she had waited a day too long. I agreed that it was annoying, but the dress looked cute, and I didn't think it should go to waste. So, I offered to buy it from her. She agreed. It was a little big in places, but I really liked how it looked and it's probably one of my favorite dresses. On Friday, Sarah was hosting a birthday party for her boyfriend, Sam, a 25-year-old male. Most of the other girls were wearing dresses. I decided to wear the dress I bought from Sarah as no one else has seen it yet, and it was cheaper than buying a new dress. Before I left, I took a photo with some of the other girls who were coming. Sarah messaged me asking if I could please not wear that. Turns out she hadn't bought it from a shop. It was actually a gift from Sam, and she didn't want to tell him that it didn't fit. This dress was much more expensive than she had told me and come from a specific designer. At this point, we were all about to get in my friend's car, and I wasn't about to tell him to wait for me. So, I just went and acted like I hadn't seen the message. When we got there, Sarah took me inside and told me she would give me a lift home to change. I said no, and she told me to leave. At this point, I was annoyed, and I said it was Sam's birthday, and if he had an issue, he could say. Later that evening, he complimented the dress and said it was just like the one he had bought for Sarah, not that long ago, for their anniversary. At that point, she said she wasn't feeling well and went upstairs. She messaged me this morning, calling me a B-word and a B-hole. I felt I should have been more considerate. Am I the B-hole? You are 100% the B-hole. Yeah, Sarah should have been more upfront with you and told you, that the dress came from her boyfriend. But you mean to tell me you couldn't really tell the girls you were going with, hey, give me a second and go up there and quick change into something? And also, Sarah's real cool. She didn't blow up on you when you first got there. She said, hey, I will drive you home so you could change. And I thought that's really nice of her. You're a really bad person for acting like you didn't see that message. Come on now. Are you really even her friend? Not cool. Alright, and our third story comes from Maleficent Winter 9592. Am I the b-hole for refusing to attend my ex's wedding? I'm a 28-year-old female and was recently out with a girlfriend who told me a friend of hers was getting married soon and asked if I wanted to go as her plus one. I've met the bride before through this particular friend and enjoyed our brief interactions. I also didn't want my friend to have to go by herself, so I was happy to accept the invitation. It was only later that I discovered the groom was an ex of mine. I had no idea and hadn't been told. Our relationship hadn't been that great, and we parted messily. Thing is, my friend knew for sure that I had dated this guy. He was in our friendship circle during our relationship, but still invited me. I rang her, and she claimed she couldn't remember, and that I had already been put down as plus one, so it wouldn't be right for me to pull out. I contacted the bride and told her that I wouldn't be able to make it, and explained as tactfully as I could why. She was pretty understanding, and I thought that was the end of it. Until I had a ton of people contacting me to say I was being selfish and trying to make things about me by refusing to go. I couldn't understand that. I just felt uncomfortable with attending and thought I'd actually attract more attention with my presence than with my absence. I'm still having people tell me I've let down my friend, who hasn't been speaking to me, by refusing to attend, as well as being immature. They're saying I should support my ex's happiness and put the past behind me. At first, I didn't believe any of it, but it's been said enough to me by this point by so many people that I'm starting to think it might be true. I just wanted to see what impartial people may think of this, which is why I posted. Hi OP, you are not the b-hole on this one, and you are not making it by yourself. Actually, you're removing the whole drama by taking yourself out of the situation. It sounds like your friend is trying to start some drama. Cause she knows you dated that guy. Like you said, he was in your friendship circle. Also, I'm pretty sure the ex doesn't want his ex there either on, the day he's getting married. These people are weird. Do not fall for their gaslighting, OP. If I were you, I wouldn't go to that wedding. And your friend, I would seriously think about keeping your friend as your friend. And who goes to an ex's wedding? When someone's an ex, that's it. It's done unless you have, children or something like that. But yeah, not the b-hole. Do not go and choose better friends, because I don't think that's your friend. Alright everybody, thank you so much for making it to the end. And can you please do me the same favor that I asked you to do in the beginning? Like, comment, and subscribe, and share the video around. Velvet out.